Hey, what's going on, everybody? Secoya Nation, it's Dr. Schilling on your Friday edition of the Thought for the Day. So today's option is, as you read the tagline, and wait, of course, I'll give you some action steps at the end to change your life. It is, what is the greatest enemy to all the wonderful things you have to offer to the world? What is it? What could it be? Anybody have a guess? Type in the chat below. Spoiler alert, it's called perfectionism. And if you understand that perfectionism is really enemy to all the great things you have to offer, you'll understand that you holding yourself back is not in anybody's best interest. You holding yourself back from doing all the great things you have in the world is not giving other people permission to do the same. So when you try to be perfect, because trust me, I'm a recovering perfectionist, I spent my entire life trying to figure out how to not upset anybody, how to not do anything wrong, how to make sure everybody was happy, everybody was taken care of. And if you understand that happens, then you are literally crippled and locked into a state of, I have so much potential, but yet I'm not using it. Because potential doesn't mean anything until you put it into action. So when you understand your potential is inborn, it's in you, you have this fire within you. You may not identify it every day, or maybe you're sort of ignoring it, but the point is, your tendency to make sure everything has to be perfect before you do any action is only going to limit you. It's only going to hold you back. Okay? So what can you do with perfectionism? Well, first of all, understand that it's a learned behavior. It's a family trait. Typically, you watch it. You learn it by watching someone else in your family. And, perfection is the enemy of all the great things you can do. So instead of worrying about what somebody else did or living up to somebody else's standards, set the standards for yourself. So your action steps today are to say, what's good enough for me? What is enough for me to do my best and let go of the rest? That's what we talked about all the time around here. Do your best and let go of the rest, because try to be perfect is an impossibility. Perfection is a journey, not a destination. So when you can let go of perfectionism, you can let go of having everything be perfect or everybody be happy or, not upsetting anything, not making any waves, not rocking the boat. That's when you know you are stepping out of it. And this is a daily practice for any one of us who's ever had any perfectionistic issues. Then we know that we have a tendency to try to be people pleasers, or to not speak our truth, or to not create the art we want, or to build the business we want, or whatever it is, right? Out of fear of not being good enough, fear of failure, whatever it might be. Because perfectionism is an excuse. I can tell you that myself. I put off, once Sammy was born in August of 2020, I made up every excuse I could and in terms of not getting back out and producing content that is going to help people transform their lives. And that's what we're committed to every day. As you can see, we've done it once every day, and I'm doing it one live 365. Here we go. So my job, whether it's rain or shine, and I feel great or not, is to do something positive in the world, is to make a change. And that's my promise to myself and my promise to the world, because that's what I want to do. Because I know if I don't, then I'm going to crawl back into the hole and the shell of perfectionism, and I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to help anybody. So to that end, what I've decided to do is say, perfection is the enemy of all the good things I can do, and I'm going to take small incremental steps each day in terms of doing something positive. So whatever that is for you, whether it's in your relationships, with your family, with your work, your profession, your art, whatever it is, just choose to do something productive. Take one step every day to say, this is my goal, this is my ideal, I'm going to do something toward it, I'm going to do something productive, I'm going to do something that feels good, fills your cup. It's like soul food. So, synopsis. Perfection is the enemy of all the amazing things you can do. So do what you do best, and don't worry about what anybody else is thinking, because when you do what you do, you're going to give other people permission to come up for air from their perfectionistic holes, and they're going to be able to do what they do best, right? Without guilt, without fear, because if people don't love you for what you do, right, there's no point, right? They should love you unconditionally. So look for relationships and situations where you're loved unconditionally, and that is the only place to be, okay? So perfection is the enemy of all the great things you can do. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be great. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So get started today. Do something that feels good. Do something that's imperfect. Like draw something that looks terrible. Like if I drew a stick figure, you'd laugh your butt off. It's ridiculous. My wife is pretty amazing at drawing things. Her mother was an artist, and she's an artist, and maybe Sophia will be an artist, or Sammy, I don't know. I don't have that in my gene pool. Right? I've been pretty good at athletics and pretty good at other business practices and stuff like that, but art is not mine. So let that be your jam. Let be public speaking be your jam. Let be feeding the poor, volunteering at your church, whatever it is for you, but just get lost in the art of doing it, and don't worry about how good it is. Just know that you're doing it from your heart and you're giving, and that's the best place to go from. Okay? So that's your thought for the day. Take some action. Figure out what you want to do the most in life. Take one step toward it today. And don't let perfectionism hold you back, because it's a curse, it's a prison. You hold the key to the door, open your own cell door, get out of that prison, because perfectionism is a farce, it's made up, because nothing's perfect, no one's perfect. So give up the perfectionism and do what you love, all right? I will see you guys tomorrow for the thought of the day. Have a great night.